Hello and welcome back. So I just watched Dhurandhar and it was like a blast. It was a literal blast to watch this movie. First of all, this movie didn't just hit, it landed as well. And that is the most kind of the important thing with such spy espionage, such thriller movies that it hits, it's like the concept's good, the placement's good, the characters are good, but then it just doesn't land. In the end, they just kind of somehow they just do something where it's like this is the obvious thing to do. And many of such movies don't quite follow the narrative of the person or the leads in the movie. It in fact follows this story arc, which this I would say followed, yes, 100%, but it followed through these different leads. It followed through these different characters, and we are getting the second part in just what 4 months, and that is like I don't know if this has happened before in Indian cinema that the second part is going to be released like literally in 4 months. So I'm literally hyped to see that as well. But first of all, let me just speak more about this and what I want to expect from the second part more. I'll talk that in a while. But this film, literally, I believe this movie is a benchmark for Indian cinema in a way that people have not quite achieved it. This is that James Bond level stuff, like with the feeling that is in there. It's that James Bond level type stuff. It's not just a random Bollywood. It's not just a Bollywood dance thing with some spy thing that is going on around. This is not a lavish thing. No, 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 no. This is set on ground reality, and that is what is important about this film. Is that it is truly and truly inspired from the real events that have enveloped our country, which has enveloped our lives, the moments that we have been through, and the things that are happening and that were happening behind the curtains while these moments were happening in front of us. That is the reality that this movie is showing us, and it's fabulous. Like, you just cannot appreciate it more. Like, literally, at the end of the movie, everyone clapped, including me. And of course, even I clapped because this was but everyone literally clapped. Everyone enjoyed this film. Like, from the past 2 days, yeah, it released 2 days ago, and I've been seeing houseful and houseful theaters. I do not know what the box office numbers might suggest or something, but I have been seeing, like, I couldn't get a show to book for the past 2 days. If I was booking, it was either the prices were too high or it was just full. The theater was entirely full, and I got the chance to see it today. And oh man, oh man, oh man, and I understand why it was full. First of all, it's a very big movie. It's literal 3 hours and 40 minutes. It's something like that. Which, if you take on the Indian cinema timings, it's somewhere near 4 hours. It's completely 4 hours of being in the cinema hall. It's being there, experiencing this, and it's just enormous. Literally, it's an enormous movie, and that is why they have made a part two. Like, of course, the shooting might have been in continuous thing because they will be just releasing it in 3 months. So it's like this really does define something for Indian cinema, because it is not just releasing the second part in a couple of months, but it's also being so sure about it that yes, it will land. Yes, we will release it in 4 months and people will come in to see. I think that is the type of confidence that a filmmaker has when he knows he has made something, and to also keep people in for 3 hours and 40 minutes, 40 plus minutes, for more than 3 hours, to keep them in their seats, to let them onto the scene and just stay there with the characters. That is something quite unique that was done here, and I truly, like, I didn't believe I could focus on the film, but I did, because the presence of the characters, the presence of the actors on the screen was such heavy that you just had to stay focused. You just had to be like, okay, what's going to happen next? What are these people going to do? And it's amazing. So the 90% of the film is just happening in this Liari town in Pakistan, in Karachi. I guess it was in Karachi. Yeah, it's in Karachi. So everything is happening there, and then you get these glimpses of what's happening on the Indian side of it. Like Ranveer Singh is in there as Hamza, and he's doing his covert operations, like he's gathering intel, he's climbing the ladders, he's climbing the social ladders as well, and he's climbing the ladders in the gangs and like whatever the hierarchy is. And what actually, like literally the decisions that these gangsters, which aren't really as kind of, threatening. I mean, yeah, of course they are threatening, but as kind of big shots that you might think, but how those kind of effects kind of ripple down to this level of mob and masses, how this kind of influences the people around them, the communities, and how it kind of reaches out its arm, like it, shovels, like it tunnels its way into India, and the way it impacts us in such a non-visible way, like something which is there but we are quite not able to see. So one might think these terrorist attacks that were going on, we might think that okay, this was just one thing, some terrorist group did that, some terrorist group did this. No, these people are in real, like they are the culprits, they are the ones who are carrying everything out. I mean, at least that is what the movie showed us, that it is not some different sect of people, it is not this sect of people or that some community over there. It's these people who gather in a room and decide we are going to attack this part of this country, and we are going to carry out a mission there, and everything just goes around, and the rivalries that they have in between themselves, and how they want to kind of cut each other off, but still they want to kind of accomplish this goal to bleed India by 1,000 cuts. And it's just, how do you make it so conniving and convincing at the same time? Like these players are playing against each other, but they still want to play the bigger game of kind of standing as a nation. I mean, even today, these things will surely be happening in Pakistan, and everybody is sure of it, because you can just see, like today with the help of social media, you are able to see these things for yourself on Twitter, on Instagram, on any other news network or anything. But at a time where this was not the main thing, where at a time where this was not the kind of the thing that people were kind of getting to know. So these events were from that time, and the way it kind of happens is, it's also very interesting, because you are kind of living in a still a slow information process kind of era of time, where information isn't as fast going, it isn't as kind of it isn't as fast as it is today. And in that time, to plan and carry out such thing over months and over years, like literally Hamza, which is Ranveer Singh, he had been in Pakistan for so many years. I mean, to carry it out through years and planning those terrorist attacks, the terrorists that were going to do on India, even planning those things for months and months, and then attempting it, and that getting, sometimes that doesn't work out. So they plan another thing, and then that works out. So it's like there are levels to this game that this movie showed us. And of course, not everything is not every single thing is entirely realistic, but majority of it is influenced by the real people and their lives, and how they react and how they communicate with the communities, and the regional politics, how do they happen. Again, the politics part was just brilliant in here. Like there were just so many things in here that were like, how does one even observe and create that in that moment? Like that was just something very, very brilliant by the filmmaker Aditya Dhar. I guess he's the director of this. Yeah, he's the writer and the director of this film, and it's just very amazing. Like literal claps, kudos, and congratulations to everyone on the team, especially Aditya Dhar, because this, to understand how these people work, to understand the communities, to understand why are they doing this, their goals are different, some their identities are different, and yet they're still kind of coming together to work for a goal. And the kind of infiltration of an Indian spy in there, and how he kind of paves his way through this hierarchical structure, and it's just brilliant. Like how it's brilliant, you can kind of need a story through it. Like there are different chapters, and you get these character introductions of different people, and in the end, how do all of them come together? How are these chess pieces in this bigger war battle, how do they move, where do they move? And it's very, very brilliant. It's very brilliant. I mean, I will personally recommend each and everyone in the entire world, not just India, or I mean, whoever may come across this, to just go out, see this movie, and experience it in the theaters. You will be there for 4 hours, but it will be an experience. It's a first-hand experience that you kind of get while seeing this, and it's like, and that one scene where they are playing those recordings of the 26/11 attack. Damn, I didn't expect that. It was heavy. It was a heavy moment. It was a literal heavy moment. I mean, personally for me, and it did something with the inner being. It felt something very quite heavy, and it's just it's it's a quite well made movie, and it serves its purpose about kind of letting us know that yes, these things are going on. And in fact, I even a couple of days ago I heard, or like I read something on Twitter, that some unknown gunmen again had shot down some um, terrorist leader again in Pakistan. So it's like that. This is the story of those unknown gunmen that we might not know, because they are so kind of initiated and infiltrated in their society, in this Pakistani communal society, kind of playing their own games, but and going in there and doing those deeds. It's just an another level of operatives that you create. So I mean, literally, I thoroughly enjoyed the film. The action was great, and the brutal scenes were really brutal. Like, I was like, damn, what are they doing with this? I mean, you feel that grotesqueness with which these people live, with what these abnormal people do with human bodies, with how they mutilate those bodies, and it's gross. It's very gross, and that was displayed in here. Like, damn. And again, like, hats off to whoever thought of it, and hats off to whoever was able to direct this. I mean, of course, it's Aditya Dhar, but the way it's carried out, it's like you're just in there with those things that are happening, and it's smooth as a butter. The plot just, it's like a wave that is coming towards the shore, and you are able to hear the noise of the wave. You are able to see the wave. You're able to experience the breeze that comes with the wave, and it's just amazing to see. And again, I mean, I cannot appreciate this movie more. I'm really hyped to see what happens in the next movie, because this isn't the end of our Dhurandhar. This isn't the end of Ranveer Singh. This isn't the end of his mission. He is in fact in midst of it. He has kind of infiltrated the high commands. He kind of made his place in there, but now let's see what he does when he gets in real power, what he does with the people when he's the king, what he does when he takes control of the board, when he takes control of all the sides that were kind of these disfigured members here and there. How does he do it? What is his climb to power, and what is his tactics to kind of deal with such things? So that would be very interesting. And again, at the end, they kind of showed certain glimpses of the shots that would be in part 2, which is called Revenge. And again, like, this is a literal benchmark for Indian cinema, and each and every one of Indians should appreciate such unknown gunmen and our intelligence agencies across all over India, because we get to know that these terrorists do not just plan one attack, they or towards one place. They attack so many places all over India. And again, this character, I forgot his name, but he was kind of cosplaying Ajit Doval. So he kind of says that they just need to get it once right, and we need to get it right every single time. Like, the terrorists need to get it right just once, but the intelligence agencies and our security agencies, they need to get it right every time, because or else it's the loss of lives, and it's the loss of precious innocent lives, and that is what we cannot bargain on. That is something really cruel and unhuman thing to do. So it just hits you perfectly. Like, it knows what it's doing, and it's just amazing to see. Like, how can one make it? That was just amazing. That is going to be my end statement. That is, it's amazing. Go and watch it. really hyped to see part 2, which that is what I'm also impressed with. It just comes out in 4 months. Like